ko te ao tūroa e ngā waka e ngā mana i ngā reo ngā hau e whā. Ka rā ngā tū i te Ihirangaranga o ngā tua. Teira tua wahine, teira tua tāne. Wako tui tui a i te pō. Mai te kore te whiwhia, te kore te rawea, te kore. Nei rā mātou o ngā hau e whā e tuku mihi ki a koutou katoa ko tai mai te pōne. Kia rā ngā tū, te kite atu, i te whakāhuatanga, i te tū hono hono a reo a kuku a roa tata. E whakāhua atu ana i tētahi whakāro. Mai te mū, mai te rāhui, mai te wā o te pū. Ko tātou anō tira, kai te putātu ki te whaiao ki te ao māra. Ki te mana whenua tainui waka, pā iwi katoa, he piko he taniwha, he piko he taniwha. Tō tātou ariki nui, kai te mihi, ko te whāriki kōrero te whakakotahi ngā iwi katoa. Pai mārire, pai mārire, pai mārire. Ki ngā kaumātua, ngā kuia, ngā koraua, ngā whānau whānui, mai ngā mokopuna ngōki ngōki, tai atu rā, hapu, iwi, putātu i te ao. Tērā matariki kārewa i te rangi nau mai, hara mai ngā hua o te tauhau, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou. Tēnā tātou katoa.
Tonight, let us celebrate and inhabit the space between eternal lovers, like a newborn clutched between its parents. Tonight, let us celebrate and inhabit this space between eternal lovers, like a newborn clutched between its parents. Papatua nuku earth mother, rangi nui sky father. I do love language. For me, it's always a good time for a good rhyme and punchline, better still when the balance is mixed. Call it an alkaline alchemy of alpha lines, so complex they intersect like vectors to achieve equilibrium. And I'm not here to impress anyone or anything. Just a message from the most enlightened essence of the darkest of my depression. Now that is a God-given lesson. That even in a lessened state, we can still gravitate towards life's eternal blessing that is life. That which I have found in words. When resonating with passion, they call out the spirit to action. Countless folks have found traction on words that I carry that are not my own, and I do love language. So much I overstayed the hippocampus. Like freedom hippie campers to re-establish my peace and love language, the peace and love language. This is not true. This is not a trained skill. This is second nature. Mother being the first. I'm a child of my mum, the dirt and earth, so I know exactly what this land's worth. Call me William, not Shakespeare, but Wordsworth. Then walk this dirt with me and see if your souls go unimpressed. I'm not trying to impress anyone or anything, just a message. A message from the backstage deities that hold up Pleiades so that you and I can live in awe. Metaphysical metaphors are miracles, and I do love that language. Tonight, I hope you do too. Let us cut a cure into the mouth of Tafli Martyr, so that he might breathe our gratitude into the wind, enriching our connection. Tonight, let us all be still lives of introspection. We got through the same way we got in. The reason we chose to stay. The reason I never left the region to be with my Fetu Miharu. It is the reason some of us were completely alone. It is the reason we gave up our jobs and risked our livelihoods. We stressed over our mortgages. It is the reason our bellies rumbled before the care packages arrived. It is the reason we kept our distance, but longed for closeness. The reason we adhered to a code more powerful than law. And somewhere within all our longing, we saw the sun rise uninhibited by pollution, and glimpsed the possibility in the unfurling of sleeping daisies budding through the gravel of empty roads. This is the reason we are here now, reflecting in the movement of sound, paint, words, and our shared vibration, gathered in the gestation of celestial constellations. Ihirangaranga. Here I seek reason for growth, for change. Because now that I have seen it, I know there is something infinitely wrong with the way I was living before. And though we have felt the fear inside the sphere of isolation, and the trouble inside the bubble now bubbles over, I will not burst. The reason is love. We lock down for love. May the new norm dawn in the light of Matador. May the new norm dawn in the light of Matador. May the new norm dawn in the light of Matador. What are you feeling? 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 Kneeling. Kneeling. Kneeling, what are you feeling? Kneeling. Kneeling. Breathing. What are you feeling? Breathing. 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 Breath. Koha. In a single breath, I take the sky into my lungs and carry clouds into my veins until a blueprint of my bloodline maps a course on my skin. A route of trenches that run beneath the colony in my collagen. In a single breath, I drift from this urban myth back to my origin. For here, statues and statutes speak and will try to tell me that my whakapapa is a broken home. Is criminality, is theft, poverty and violence. They will say I am a broken home. A criminal, a thug, a problem, a waste of space and air and breath. Koha! They will say that I am violence, not a poet. Not a poet of love, royalty, and pure divine guidance. Not a son. Not a son of love, royalty, and pure divine guidance. Not a man. Not a man of love, royalty, and pure divine guidance. My whakapapa is love, royalty, and pure divine guidance. My whakapapa is love, royalty and pure divine guidance, and so is yours. Our whakapapa is love, royalty and pure divine guidance. Koha! To press our nose against the sky is to elude mortal ones. To press our nose against each other is to infuse mortal bonds in a single breath. He said, I can't breathe. I can't breathe. He said, I can't breathe. What are you feeling? What are you feeling? What are you feeling? Kneeling. Kneeling. What are you feeling? Breathing. The gift of breathing. Of breathing. What are you feeling? Tonight, let us be strong like the branches of Tane Mahuta, whose trunk stretches into the heavens, bearing the weight of godly heartache for us. Waha. To gift breath. To gift life. Do not touch. But if you are to touch, touch the heart. Keep your distance. But if you are to be close to thoughts that bring you peace. Cover your mouth. But if you are to uncover your mouth, say something worthwhile. Listen. Don't ask me why I write. Don't ask me why I speak. That's like asking why my heart functions. That's like asking to fill the space between words with breath when I'd rather use conjunctions and breathe. Remember to breathe when the speaking stops. When the words stop and I learn to see this world as more than animated topography spreading itself over landscapes, ask instead why my mind is a firing range. Sending bullets down my spine and tremors to the fine fibers at the tip of my left appendage where my aim surrenders like a calligrapher parting sand before viewing what he's rendered. What I am telling you is I am no fake. I am no poetic wordsmith bender. I am no pretender. When I speak, I see rib cages open like damn. Return this entire cavity to sender for a new agenda because shit just got real. Realer than I ever thought the spoken word thing ever could. Realer than the beats that have been thumping inside an empty pericardium. It's time we Wingardium Leviosa and raise our game. I want a heart with conviction, A beating melody to soothe the world's conflicts and decipher its encryptions. A song, navigating the nodules of your ears when I speak. All you have to do is listen. Recline your mind and leave it wide open. See, I started out doing this simply because I can't sing. But now I would share my voice with a truth that rings like a hymn in heaven. For surely there is no more spiritual place where the truth is heard than a church in heaven. And when I write, that is my definitive direction, poetic, infinite perfection, homage to every rendition. Not just spoken word competitions, but poetry, the entire tradition. Until I am a voice unshackled like the voice carried inside the tabernacle, like the voice knocking on your cranium after my left shoulder tackle. So listen, when fools ask me where the man is in all of this, like some often do with their skewed view of what poetry is, I would gladly show them my imperfections. I would pop from the ribs from my sternum for them to feel my hard-earned lessons, take it in their hands like a pen or a weapon, mightier than red or blue bandanas, mightier than fists, thumbs and pinky fingers overhanging, mightier than schoolyard manners that one day won't matter, mightier than accumulated wealth at the top of the corporate ladder. It is mightier than an hard-earned signature, believe me. When I speak, my fears are cradled inside ink textured blessings. When I speak, I am the people's eyebrow raised after one of the rock's cooking lessons. When I speak, I envisage a place where greatness is the social norm, where greatness is the new norm, where everybody sees like the eye in the storm. When they look at the storm, when they look at the world, when we look at ourselves, listen. Don't ask me why I write. Don't ask me why I speak. Instead, know that your mind is open like a shoreline stretched out before the ocean. Know that you reside inside the calm of a twist of floating. It's time. Take your weapons, start your lessons, and speak for yourselves. Unless we learn to converse, to traverse the trauma, there will be no change. No photosynthetic awakening of the stem that binds us as equal people. Do you remember when we held back the waves of the Whangaroa inlet from swallowing our patch of beach just so we could stay a little longer? Asher, you said, "Dad, watch us stop the tide from flooding our sand-made city," and I replied, "Impossible. When the tide comes in, it'll swallow everything in its path, including your toes." You folded your arms tightly. And in a wave of synchronicity, so did your cousin, followed by your sister reluctantly. Mia, you sounded the alarm of encouragement as you so often do. "Yeah, Uncle, watch us. It'll take teamwork. Really good teamwork. But I know we can do it." "Yeah, teamwork," you echoed Sienna, as if to give the final and official nod of certainty. Turned towards the sea like three sun-charged superheroes. You began the impossible task of holding back the will of the elements. Meanwhile, I shuffled our towels towards the sand dunes and watched from a distance, amusing myself with your city's pending doom, because I knew the tide was coming in. But as I watched Tangaroa inch towards the centerpiece of your iron city of sand, lap gently at the base, and then recede back into the Pacific Ocean, or saw as whitewashed thin crawling over your driftwood crops and farmlands again and again, without any damage, my wonder grew. Soon the energy you each stirred into the atmosphere, from laughter, play, determined digging, and collective confidence crystallized over my eyes, and I began to see as you did. The magic inside the shimmering sea spray, the patience of the sun, the kindness of the wind, the collaboration, the dance, the harmony, the reason the elements seem to cradle your presence, because you were all present. When you are older, I will ask again, do you remember when we held back the waves of the Whangaroa inlet? When the people who lived in your city of sand were all that mattered? And so you learned to speak to the sun, to the wind, to the sea. And you asked, instead of destruction, do you want to play with us? Like a game of tag with the atu. I remember how Tangaroa responded, curving his mouth across the shoreline so that we could stay just a little longer. It'll take teamwork, really good teamwork, to hold back the tide. Our communities are safer together. Together our communities are safer. Safer communities together. The epicenter of this epidemic will not be found in the epidermis. The epicenter of this epidemic will not be found in the epidermis. Rather, within the branches of epistemology, check your ignorance and doubt, and find the truth in your nature. Papatua Nuku Earth Mother, I drive into the night in the hope that I might stampede the stagnation of my stuck mind on the chest of Porongyamomo. I arrive to moonlight milk pouring into her sternum, the walkway unfolding, and I am listening for the sound of buried jawbones that once uplifted countries, but they speak in synesthetic tongue. The Tui song relenting to the raging hum of the cicada and my friend, foe or invader. I haven't seen my mother in so long that I am estranged to the nature once bound in my nature. Forgotten that I am child of soil womb too. Consumed by the rock-faced toxicity of foreign forefathers, so I dig deep into to the birthplace where a seat converges on a pile of cornerstones. There, I sit alone with my brother. He tells me that the coroner needn't be more graceful with the summary of his death, but that we as people be more graceful with our lives. There he motions to the trees like breathe, for tomorrow will gift you another day. I am unstuck. I am grounded. Young boys, I promise you it's okay to love and be loved. You with your turmoil, your scars, your lacerations, not of thigh or wrist, but of feet and standing, of breath and breathing, of tempers, temptation, you who arrived as boys knocking at the skin of yourselves like an overused joke, hoping the reply on the other side would one day be man, who just man, you who believed you were descendants of your parents' flaws, who carved mask persona into cell walls and dairy doors as if to say the child that never was, is, no more, I live by my street name. Nomadic riding on urban drifts, unfamiliar brownness through the plasticness, you the poor and sometimes the rich. Know that I never read your files. I met you behind ribcage gates when you said I was welcome to listen to your symphony. Beating beats unique to a life humbled by defeat, repair, repeat, a cyclic history cultivated in struggle. You clad with ceramic muscle, compacted from broken foundations and circular rotations, overcome by hustle or become the ride sand. When we arrived at the foot of your house, the outcome of an affluent upbringing of wealth, I felt ignorant perceptions ring. My sensibilities' words crash behind enamel walls like rich kid problems don't exist at all, but your suffering, your dread, red, even in the scuff of your lucky sandal on approaches this palace of perfection stared down on your misfortune like a criminal inspection, like a father vicariously expecting to see his dreams of perfection in you, Nate. The first time you had money in a shop was also the first time you got kicked out, was also the first time you invited me inward, told me your parents had been drinking for days, your little sister was starving, so you stole bread. Opened a space inside your red threads and said, look, see my cracks, brother, I see all your cracks. They magnify as if staring into a bottomless chasm. They echo the irregular spasms of weary heart patterns. Too old for your soul, too heavy for your bones. I see it in the way you dip and slide your step. I see it curl the aged bones in your fingers to crooked finger rip. Things you would never fully understand. There is so much more you could be doing with your hands, young boys. The protection of self is not found in becoming a weapon. Your manhood is not found in multiple young girl undressing. It starts with doors fixed into the cracks of you, built from hope and faith as we collaborate. See, my job, my passion is to build skyscrapers inside those doors. So that when the man in you arrives, he can reside on the top floor, on the surface of your face, where your potential resides. Breathe, young boys, stand, young boys, because I want you to run. I want you to run like a minefield of neurons bursting into reaching arms, fingers splayed, the moment, before they steal their dreams from an arrow piercing that finally strikes the moon. Be more than a man. Make sure you're a good one. Whose steps send a dusty plumage of self-esteem into the air, smouldering enough to smoke out ego's breath as misguided perceptions of masculinity take their hooks out of your chest. Be free. Be free of the mistakes of all the men before you. Be better than a sedentary pair of legs. Run, I said. Like your skin replied mountain echoes from the inside. Man, man. Man, man, stand, step, walk, run. Your slate is clean. Your time here is done. If it weren't for the stars, the night sky might finally be brave enough to snuff out the moon and lay down with the earth. tonight children's dreams will pour outside the galaxies, carried like hemoglobin on a silver lining to the hearts of those of us who forget. But this world isn't grey yet. Colour races like shooting stars, collecting windowsill imagination for the ignorant and complacent. Races like the unsettled minds that have spent too long stargazing. They've overlooked that the heart, yes, the heart, will always supersede the stars for inspiration.
too long unsung. This troubled tongue slipped like nightshade from behind the sun. Sip the dark matters. On lip stars gather, held by tongue, like lung does breath, like heart rib chest,
like bird in nest, not man in cell, no he. He must make the blackened room matter. He must make the blackened room matter. He must make this black room matter. We must make this black room matter. This black room matters. This black room matters. This black room matters. This black matter lives. The black matter lives. The black matter is alive. When asked about the face of God, an astronaut once said she was a black woman. Sacred is the solitude expanding like galaxies inside our mouths. When asked about the face of God, an astronaut once said she was a black woman. Now use tongue to profess, blow out bated breath, stretch beyond bird nest, your winged words, we are all hell. But are you man in cell, or star in night sky? Untroubled is the tongue who knows the difference. Unburdened is the being who is dancing nebula inside mother's hands. Nest, chrysalis, who fights not to escape, but to mature to freedom, like breath from lung, like bird from nest, like man from self, like word from tongue, like love from heart. Unburdened is the being who was dancing nebula inside mother's hands. Nest, chrysalis, who fights not to escape, but to mature to freedom. This poem deserves an introduction. It's a poem written by my grandmother a long time before I was born. And tonight I've been asking for your voices. Now is the time to lift up our voices. And I'm going to ask again if you can do that with me, but first I want to invite my mum to the stage. Everybody, this is my mum. So I kind of tricked my mum into this, but I thought it's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to be able to speak together and give this poem back to her mum. My mum held on to this poem for years and years and years, and she didn't quite know what to do with it. She kept it in a photo album. And from 5 years old, I started to read it. And then one day I thought, Mum, can I have this poem? So I framed it and I have it at home. And it's pretty amazing to be able to bring it here and share it with everybody. Are you for the microphone, Mum? Can you bring it down? Okay. So, in the spirit of Ihirangaranga, in the spirit of shared vibration, in the spirit of shared sound and shared voice, if everybody could repeat after me and back my mum up, I'd really love that. Repeat after me. I do not ask for love from you.
I do not ask for love from you.
But only kindness.
But only kindness.
For I have drunk of passion's cup.
For I have drunk of passion's cup.
And found no happiness.
And found no happiness.
I long to feel the gentle touch.
I long to feel the gentle touch.
Of hands that stroke my hair.
That hands that stroke my hair.
As one would soothe a weeping child.
As one would soothe a weeping child.
Entrusted to his care.
Entrusted to his care.
I do not ask for love from you.
I do not ask for love from you.
But would you grant me this?
But would you grant me this?
One moment of compassion.
One moment of compassion.
Snatched out of a dark abyss.
Snatched out of a dark abyss.
Thank you. Thank you, If it weren't for the stars, the night sky might finally be brave enough to snuff out the moon and lay down with the earth, and we would plunge into an embrace of darkness. Light would wither like hope in a prison of war, fade like a ridiculed idea, dilute like yellow paint brush tips under running water, Van Gogh's Starry Night, a canvas without wonder. Grey strokes dead of inspiration, swirling like spiritless pirouettes, perfectly executed yet lifeless. Without them, without the stars, we are but children. Searching empty window frame contents before we sleep, prayers and dreams sent into the cosmos, surrendered to suspend, unanswered and still. Even when man evolves enough to light up the night sky with invention, still our reach is restricted by our comprehension. The stars, their beauty, have always let us believe beyond. They relinquish our grasp and exceed the fathomable. As if to look through them was to climb an upward manhole into an infinite bliss. We navigate constellations to find this. We navigate words and history to redefine myth as unquestionable legend, to enjoy the sun without ropes, to fashion star-shaped hopes that poke through the canopy and allow ambition to elope with fruition. Matariki is upon us. And we again marvel as myth becomes adamant that science can be defied tonight, as these handmade kites travel higher than any rocket or satellite ever has. We risk the impossible, like a son splashing his tears on the other side of closed doors in rooms that argue and argue and argue like twinkling beacons of hope. Tonight, we are certain that the world's biggest broken heart does not rest somewhere in a widowed blue whale, but deep in the earth and far beyond the clouds. We celebrate and inhabit a space between eternal lovers, like a newborn clutched between its parents. Papa Tua Nuku Earth Mother, Rangi Nui Sky Father. Tonight, let us karakir into the mouth of Tawhiri Matia, so that he might breathe our gratitude into the wind, enriching our connection. Tonight, let us all be still lives of introspection. Let us all be still lives of introspection, strong like the branches of Tanya Mahuta, whose trunk stretches into the heavens, bearing the weight of godly heartache for us tonight. Tonight, our children's dreams will pour outside the galaxy, carried like hemoglobin on a silver lining to the hearts of those of us who forget that this world isn't grey yet. Color races like shooting stars, collecting windowsill imagination for the ignorant, and complacent races like the unsettled minds that have spent too long stargazing. They've overlooked that the heart, yes, the heart, our hearts will always supersede the stars for inspiration. For there you will find the brightest of all earthly creation. There is that familiar, warming sensation of oneness. There, cradled inside the fabric of space and time. Just like the stars, we shine. May the new norm dawn in the light of Matariki. May the new norm dawn in the light of Matariki. May the new norm dawn in the light of Matariki. Koha. In a single breath, may we take the sky into our lungs and carry clouds into our veins until a blueprint of our bloodline maps a course on our skin. A route of trenches that move us forward.
Eke ponuku, eke tangaro. Eke ponuku, eke tangaro. Eke ponuku, eke tangaro. Mayall parawera nui ngā hau e whā. Hau atu hau mai te āwhiorangi. Hau atu hau mai te whironui. I te au, i te pō, i te pō, i te au. Nā mea o roto, ngā mea o roho. Hau atu, hau ai. Hau atu, hau ai. Ai o.
Let us karakir into the mouth of Tafanimut. Let us be strong like the branches of Tani Mahut. Koha. To share breath, to share voice, to share love, to share this blackened room, to share this moment, this gestation of constellations. Ihirangaranga. May the new norm dawn in the light of Matariki. May the new norm dawn in the light of Matariki. May we go forward and the new norm dawn in the light of Matariki. May the new norm dawn in us. May the new norm awaken in us. May the new norm dawn in the light and dawn in the love of Matariki.
Mai te pō ki te whaia, ki te ao mā